Hi, this video will introduce you to ways that you can use Wikipedia wisely as one of many possible starting points in your research. Let's take the Wikipedia article on sustainability as an example. Wikipedia can be a good way to get an introduction and overview of a topic. Looking at the list of contents for the article can show you possible subtopics. You may have sections that define terms, which can be very useful if you're not very familiar with a topic. Because anyone can create or edit a Wikipedia page, you want to be able to verify the information given in the article. This sentence claims that there's some disagreement on how sustainable development can be defined, and the 3 linked notes will let you go to the source yourself and make up your own mind. Here we're looking at the article from the journal Environment that's called What is Sustainable Development? We can read for ourselves how they define it and then compare this with other articles. You can also use Wikipedia to find other keywords that might be useful in your research. As you read or scan the article, you'll come across keywords and phrases that relate to your topic, and they might include ones that you may not have thought about on your own. For example, look at how often green comes up here. And notice these interesting phrases, which you could use to continue your research in our library databases to find scholarly articles, for example on Coca-Cola's carbon footprint. Finally, pay attention to all of the information that comes after the article too. For example, the See Also, literature, notes, references, external links sections can provide you with paths to follow to more sources on your topic. But remember to always evaluate the sources Wikipedia points you to. Always know what you're linking to. Is it a scholarly article? Is it a website of an organization? What credentials do they have? Is there any bias? All things to consider for your sources. So, here's a summary of ways to use Wikipedia wisely. Read the introductory material to put your topic in wider context and get an overview of it. Look for a list of contents to see how the topic is organized and to see possible subtopics. Make use of the notes they point you to. Go right to the source so you can verify what Wikipedia says. Scan the headings and the text for possible keywords that you can use in further searches. This is particularly helpful when you're not very familiar with a topic. Make use of the information that comes at the bottom of the Wikipedia article. Use what you find in Wikipedia as a stepping stone to more in-depth research using the library resources. And finally, never stop critically evaluating the sources of information you find. Do they meet the requirements of your assignment? If you need more help, our subject specialists are available to guide you. Drop by the Research Help Desk on the main floor of the library, or follow this link to find out how to get in touch with us via email, phone, or by live chat. We hope you found this video useful. Good luck with your research.